Yeah, I think it's a pretty good setup.
I agree. I like it.
For now. For now. We're going to test this out and see how it goes.
Continual tweaking.
And hopefully all the audio is coming through because we got a lot to discuss here.
Okay, I'm excited.
And I need to work on getting a backup set up so that if there's a failure, we don't lose everything.
In what ways? What do you mean?
Honestly, probably what I'll just do is I'll just run a separate camera and just have a backup, like a separate camera with a separate audio. Mm-hmm. It's like at least...
If this goes down, it picked up over there.
Yeah, it's not going to be the best, but that Rode Videocaster mic, I think is what that one's called, should be fine. So maybe that's what I'll use.
What's the other one we had? The Blue? Wasn't there something called Blue?
We got a Yeti Blue.
Yeti Blue. That's what it was.
So YouTube's in big trouble.
That doesn't surprise me, though. I don't even know what you're going to say, but I'm not surprised.
YouTube's in big trouble. I was going to ask you if you know why.
Do I know why? Is there another lawsuit?
Hold that thought.
Okay.
Let me share the latest with you first. So, completely separate topic.
Okay, I'm ready.
Kylie Jenner posts, then deletes support for Israel.
Why would she delete it?
So, good question. Glad you asked.
Okay.
I read that Kylie Jenner apparently can't take the heat for supporting Israel because she posted her support for the country that just endured a 9/11 type terrorist attack. But after some people criticized her, she 86'd the post.
She can take criticism on all her injection-filled body and her fake lips and everything else, but she can't take criticism on supporting people who need support?
She can't. Well, yeah, I guess so. Well, I got my opinions on this one.
Okay.
Thousands of rockets were fired from Gaza towards Israelis. Hundreds of civilians have been injured and more than 300 murdered. Terrorists have infiltrated Israel from Gaza, and there are unconfirmed reports that IDF soldiers have been kidnapped and taken into Gaza. Jenner shared a post.
Okay.
Quote, "Now and always we stand with the people of Israel. Share if you stand with the people of Israel as they face one of the most frightening situations in many years."
And she deleted that.
It was deleted.
That basic, whatever.
It was deleted. It's super basic.
So here's my question, because I don't know a lot of other countries' histories. Hell, I don't even know a ton of our history, but I mean, like for our country, I know enough. But they're Armenian. Is there like a thing between Israel and like? That's the only thing I can think of.
I didn't prepare for that, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. Because that was my question. Like, maybe she got flack from Armenian people who were like, hey, you can't support Israel because of something?
No, I don't think that was it.
Okay.
I don't think that was it, but I'm not 100% sure. But you said it was a basic post.
That's pretty basic.
It was. You haven't seen it, though.
Does she have a picture of her half naked or something at the same time with words? Because that sounds like a Kardashian-Jenner style.
I doubt
move.
that she even runs her own social media. Whereas, who was it? Oh, it was back when the whole Jason Aldean thing was going around. Mm-hmm. And there was some other guy who stepped up and he's like, look, I can't even have the passwords to my social media because I'm liable to say anything and I'm not allowed to.
Yeah.
So I'd be willing to bet that she didn't even run her own social media. Mm-hmm. And more than likely her publicist or her PR person uploaded the post because she's not even in it. Mm-hmm. It was probably like, oh, here's a great opportunity to make a seemingly positive appearance for the general social media public.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I can call it like. So I don't think she did it.
Okay.
I think somebody else did it on her account.
Well, then on whose account was it deleted for?
On Kylie Jenner.
But what I mean is, if they did it on her account, like for her, did she then for herself say take that down?
Ooh, that's a good
what
question.
I'm going to say, because if you said Instagram, right? If her Instagram is basically used to promote her,
it's probably Instagram,
Kylie lip stuff and all this other stuff, and then you, in the middle of all this trying to sell, you throw in this slight, I mean, it's going to be looked at as political because it's about a war and it's another country and whatever else. You throw that in there, what does that do? Maybe she worried about her sales and stuff.
It's funny you say that because you equate her with Kylie Jenner lip products and beauty makeup things, right? Mm-hmm. But if she posts something about a tragic event and political, then she sees a decline. Mm-hmm. Whereas inversely, if someone else has a channel that is 100% geared towards, I don't know, let's just say makeup brushes. And then you post something about something tragic and political, that channel blows up. Why?
Because they're not known.
Or is it going back to what we discussed yesterday, abandoning your core audience? Because your core audience wasn't that, and you abandoned them.
True.
I don't know.
Maybe, possibly.
Interesting. But she's not in it. It's just a flag and some text that says, "Now and always we stand with the people of Israel."
Is it the wrong Israeli flag? That's another one, too.
So it's like, no, she was wearing a blue and white bathing suit with a little six-pointed star. Like, no, that would have been awful.
Yeah.
So honestly, to me, it seemed very un-Kardashian or un-Jenner-like.
She's a Jenner.
Is she a Jenner?
She is, because her dad mom.
But she's in the family,
Jenner.
right?
Doesn't matter. Her last name is still Jenner. I mean, she's still a Kardashian, but her last
That's what
name
I'm
is
saying.
Jenner.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. She has become Kardashianized.
Kardashianized.
By doing everything that her other sisters did.
So it says that other celebrities, including other celebrities, are standing strong in their support for Israel, including Sarah Silverman, Gal Gadot.
So we've got the one who's the voice of Vanellope and Vanellope von Schweetz from Wreck-It Ralph. That's who Sarah Silverman is. She's a comedian, but that's what I know her for. And then you have Gal Gadot, who is Wonder Woman. Or what's her face from Fast and the Furious, however you want to know her.
Or from that new movie from Netflix.
Yeah, that new movie from Netflix.
It was all right.
I don't think anybody's going to know her for that.
It was all right.
Exactly. It was all right. Nobody's going to know her for that.
Amy Schumer and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Amy Schumer's kind of a train wreck, which is funny because I think she's in a movie called Trainwreck. And then Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, yeah. LeBron was in that movie. Yeah. I never watched that movie.
I tried.
It had that one guy from
It had
Saturday
Goldie
Night
Hawn,
Live.
so I tried.
I saw Jamie Lee Curtis reunited with Arnold Schwarzenegger somewhere.
Since True Lies.
Yeah.
I love True Lies. It's one of my favorite movies of hers and his, actually.
But we got some posts here from everybody about, their support, and their posts are still visible to the public.
Well, they've always been.
But their posts are just words, whereas these are words. These might be on Instagram. They might be on Twitter. I'm not 100% sure. But Kylie's was a flag.
That's what I said. Was it the wrong one?
No. I don't know. I don't know why. Maybe these posts also got some flack and some negative, hateful comments. I mean,
they always will.
It's the internet.
You got to think when Stand With Ukraine started, same thing. People who were Russian were like, "What about us? We're not the ones doing this."
Did whoever's in control over there for Kylie Jenner? Did they then only focus on the negative comments? As we know how easy that is to do when people want to shit on your day.
Well, I can guarantee that if she didn't at some point post a Stand With Ukraine and then posted a, for Israeli people, for Israel, that's probably where the backlash came in. Why are you only supporting one and you didn't support the other?
So it says some of Jenner's followers started populating her Instagram with photos of Palestinian flags and urged others to unfollow her. Apparently, that was enough for Kylie because the post was nowhere to be seen on her account an hour later. Just an hour. She got some incredible reach.
Yeah.
But speaking of deleted posts, we got Elon Musk in the house.
Oh, are you going to talk about how you went live at the border in Texas?
No, I'm not.
Oh, never mind.
I mean, we could, but no, that's not what I have here.
Okay.
And Elon Musk deletes tweets promoting anti-Semitic and fake news accounts as reliable sources of information on the war in Israel. And I have to say, finally, it's about damn time.
Now, did he do it because he realized, or did he do it because he was worried that the government would be like, we got to shut down X because you're doing the complete opposite of what you said you would do once you took this thing over?
That's interesting because we obviously know what his political position would be, and that government isn't in power. So, yeah, that could be a problem. But it says apparently Elon Musk was forced into deleting a tweet which recommended an anti-Semitic account and a promoter of debunked videos as reliable sources of information about the attack on Israel. He recommended them.
Yeah. Well, because did that person have a blue check mark? Because if they're paying, he'll recommend anybody.
Can you imagine if YouTube started doing things like this?
Oh.
Like doing this like X is doing too. Like, can you imagine if YouTube started doing that? How many channels and videos would be deleted?
I would just sit back and watch it happen. I'm not even going to lie.
No. I take it back. It will happen.
It will definitely happen.
It will happen.
It will happen.
And I'd be willing to bet it will happen in 2024. I'd be willing to bet it will happen before November 2024.
In which direction?
Well, obviously in the direction that's going to benefit them the most. We know what side YouTube and Google and Alphabet's on.
Yeah.
So there's no question. Even after that.
Yeah.
Even after that, we could, especially after that, if they don't get their way when it comes to the administration.
Very
Yeah.
true. Very true.
2024 is the year of YouTube destroying and deleting, demonetizing, terminating, canceling all the channels that are, in my opinion, falling under this category of debunked and providing misleading and non-factually based information.
Well, I mean, think about how prominent those channels were 2016 to 2020. And then even more so from 2020 to 2022, mid 2022, early 2023, when the new guy came in for YouTube and was like, "Hey, yeah,
If you had to say, what side has the most false information spread about them?"
What side has the most false information spread about them? I don't think you're going to agree with my answer. I think the right side has the most false information spread about them.
You know what? You're right. So I'm thinking the left has, more false information. Democrats have more, the Biden administration have more false information spread about them. And I'm thinking about it from the angle of, look how terrible they are. Okay. But you're right. Because the right has the equal amount of, look how great they are. So, is that where you're going?
Kind of, sort of. I think both sides is even on the negativity towards each side, from each side. But I think that maybe the right side hurts itself more by touting themselves as amazing and also crapping on the other side. I feel like the left side doesn't tout themselves as amazing as the right side does, but then they also hard crap on the right side. So it's like it's a weird.
I can guarantee you that I would never know because the majority of the content that is fed to us is from the right.
Yeah, I agree. I told you I don't watch YouTube for a reason.
It's fed. Now I want to sign in as a new user with no history and see what side is presented.
Here's what's also the problem. Is everybody is either right or left, according to YouTube and according to articles.
Well, now we got
else. But I would consider myself smack dab in the middle.
Well, now we have
a lot of different things.
the centrists or the centralists or whatever.
Would that be me?
No, I don't think you want to be.
No, I don't know what that is. Okay. No. Well, I agree with some right. I agree with some left. So I don't know what that makes me.
Well, the problem is you're agreeing with some right and some left, but the truth of the matter is that you don't even, no one really knows what anybody's agreeing to because of how many lies are being
out there. That is the problem.
presented.
Especially when you look at the fact that right used to be left and left used to be right, and then somewhere along the lines everybody just flipped sides and said, I'm tired of being red, I want to be blue, and I'm tired of being, blue, I want to be red. Like, so if you look back, Republicans were Democrats and Democrats were Republicans, and now here we are where everything has flipped.
Two wings on the same bird.
Yep. It all works together to get the final goal of whatever is wanted.
This is October 9th, 2023, and I'm going to say it right now. 2024, YouTube's going to delete a ton of channels.
Oh, I agree completely. Because whether you have a Republican back in office in 2024 or you have a Democrat... Bless you.
Thanks.
Or you have a Democrat still in office, you still have the same guy running YouTube.
Oh, no, for sure. We know what side YouTube's on.
Yeah.
So just think about it like this. What?
I was going to say, but YouTube wasn't on this side before, but since they've had a switch of management, I
think they were always on the same side. I think they were always on the same side. It's just they now are becoming more blatantly obvious about that.
Okay, I'll go with that because of all of the you can't talk about this, you can't talk about that. Okay, I'll go with it.
But just think about how much money they, being Alphabet, and advertisers and sponsors are paying for ads to be run on videos from fake news channels, liars and thieves, and reaction channels.
Oh, that's what I said before. When you make certain content, advertisers don't want to be on that content. Therefore, you're not making the algorithm money.
Well, you got to think.
money.
Okay, I was going to. You've experienced this yourself personally. I liked you until I saw that bag on the counter from whatever establishment. It's like, really?
Target.
All right, but
Wherever.
this is how people work,
Yeah.
and we're gonna actually see this later on when we get through this. But can you imagine the backlash that advertisers would face? Where it's like, you know what? I was going to go buy a new whatever from your company, but your ad played on a channel of a YouTuber that we don't like anymore.
People do that, which
But
is
it's
the
like,
dumbest thing in the world.
we don't have any control over that. Well, so the advertisers that are pumping billions of dollars into Alphabet in YouTube every single year are going to say, look, do not play our ads on fake news. Do not play our ads on
Overpull all of our
on
advertising.
alarmists. Do
Yeah.
not play our ads on. I'm gonna tell you right now. Don't play our ads on any channel that pretends to be a prepper or a homesteader.
I can understand that.
Just don't do
completely.
it.
Yeah, and I like how you said the word pretends.
So, and the others out here, air quotes on creators, are just sitting and waiting. I'm not talking about the Kylie Jenners and the Sarah Silvermans, or is that what her name is?
Yeah, Vanellope Bunch.
Gal Gadot,
I think that's how you say her name.
Amy Schumer, Jamie Lee Curtis. You know who I'm talking about. The others are, if I can find my spot, I lost my spot.
It happens. No worries. We're cool.
But the others are just sitting and waiting for the next big global disaster to profit from by replaying devastating, more than likely copyrighted footage and forcing survivors to relive the tragedy, pouring salt in their wounds, but also reminding you what God told them and to make sure you like and subscribe. Oh, and don't forget to buy my course or invest in crypto or buy real estate or check out my new makeup brush or whatever it may be.
Yes.
Like, they're just sitting waiting. Even if there's no disaster, they're sitting and waiting for the inclination of the, oh my God, I just got an urgent email. The video I regret making. I wish I never had to do this. They're just waiting.
So that's what's funny because, on my main channel, I don't ever edit. We did an edit on my last video that went up, but even
And you still didn't edit.
And I still didn't edit. You did it for me. But even then, you would never go the route that some of the other people go when talking about certain topics. If I had talked about an earthquake or I had talked about a fire, I had talked about a flood, there would be not a single iota of a second of B-roll of somebody drowning or on fire or whatever else, of somebody's home.
Unnecessary.
Because it's unnecessary. All it does is continue to push fear and anger and everything else. You can get information without having to have a visual behind it that tells you how you should feel.
Maybe that's the strong push behind YouTube and podcasts.
Because it
But
lets you
YouTube's
listen.
podcasts are videos.
Yes, but podcasts, most of them aren't throwing in B-roll. It's just people sitting and talking. So you don't have to worry about somebody showing something in the background that is going to traumatize somebody. And then YouTube doesn't have to get sued because they suggested a video of a man burning.
Yeah, because they enabled it, basically. But, it's interesting because people are like, I took this the wrong way until I realized today. I'm like, we listen to you, Kevin. We watch Michelle. I'm like, oh, I get it. I get it now.
Yeah, now you understand.
But the other thing is, I'm going to tell you right now, there's a lot of people out there that are incapable of doing what we are doing right now. They don't
Having adult conversations.
They don't possess the mental capacity to be able to actually formulate and discuss topics logically and from both sides, not necessarily left or right, but like two sides, different perspectives. Put yourself in other people's shoes.
Two sides to every coin. Like there's this and there's this, but they're on the same.
Yeah,
thing.
there's actually three sides because we don't know the truth.
True.
We got their side, we got somebody else's side, maybe four sides.
Yeah.
Our side.
Yeah.
But we don't know the truth because
Yeah.
we weren't actually there, unless maybe there are instances where we were and we discussed those on certain. More likely, those end up on Squirrel Tribe 2.0. But
Yeah.
for the most part, we're not there, so we don't know.
Yeah.
But I can provide my opinion, thoughts, and experience from what I'm seeing, what I've seen, what I expect to see happening. For anyone who cares to listen.
Yeah.
I think there's some people out there that want to hear it. It's just a matter of us reaching them.
I agree. I would much rather listen to our conversation than to conversations about random stuff that has no bearing on anything and that is basically just, being a internet bully or whatever else, or using somebody for their own advantage to...
I'll say Marvin is that one for sure that
Yes.
wants that type of conversation and
I
content.
agree.
There's so many others, but they just got to know it's there, and they will. I got a plan for that, by the way. And I don't want to sound narcissistic, but I ended up re-listening to our entire podcast yesterday as I was working on other stuff.
It's a great
just
podcast.
listening to it. But then the last thing is that the key is making content that you like and enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
I would never watch any of my old videos. You didn't watch any of my videos.
No.
So, I watched your last video. Not to say that your videos before were bad, but I watched your last video that I helped you with. But it's also, we're moving into a direction of expanding upon the type of content that you create.
It's funny, you said a minute ago, making fun of different titles and stuff, and my brain today was like, my next video is going to be titled The Video I Never Wanted to Make. Only because there's some things that I want to say that at one point in time I didn't think I would put out there.
It's a little different when it comes from you. When it comes from a different channel,
Okay, I understand that. Yeah.
north of the border,
Yes.
it's like, you're like, honestly, I've seen it. And it's like, I can set my watch. I tell you what, in 2.5 months, we're going to see this again. It's a cycle.
It's a cycle.
It's a business.
I know that everything was supposed to go to hell in a handbasket 6 months ago, a year ago, but we should still keep preparing for it to go to hell in a handbasket because it's going to happen one of these days. Might not be in my lifetime. Then what the are you so scared of?
Make sure you check out my website, buy these products.
Yes.
I don't actually have any
If
of
you
them.
just wanna
They're all
pull out a
drop. They're all
third-
drop shipped.
Third mortgage so that you can afford these. Pull all that equity out of your home. Sell your child. Whatever you need to do. Like,
The owner of X, formerly Twitter, faced a furious. I don't know why I think of Pulp
Clark.
Fiction when
I was thinking of Clarkson.
backlash after telling his 159 million followers that the accounts War Monitors and Scent Defender were good for following the war in real time. Followers were quick to point out that, hey bro, War Monitors has repeatedly used slurs as a term of abuse on the platform against those affected by this tragedy. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to use that term.
No.
Because I'm not going to use it to tell the story. I think everybody knows.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, just think back about the legal battle that Kanye had against some of these lawyers with Adidas.
Yeah.
Where they,
There you go.
So, the War Monitors account has claimed that, and I could literally say it like, if it were to be used against me, it would be the blacks.
Yeah.
It's like, am I supposed to take that negatively? I don't really care, but y'all did, so whatever. That the overwhelming majority of people in the media and banks are Zionists.
You know who gets the most upset and whatever about it? The whites. You can't say the whites. They will lose their shit. I don't understand, but they can say the blacks, the whatevers. But if you say the whites, please understand. Bad things.
Man, Zion. I didn't even know what Zionists are, but I can imagine. Scent Defender's account was delighted.
Like scent defenders?
SCNT. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
Okay.
He said he was delighted with Elon Musk's endorsement, replying, "Wow, thank you so much for the support." Like I could see him saying it kind of like Pete Davidson, like,
"Okay, you took this shit for real? Thanks.
All right.
Appreciate you. All right." Okay.
Musk acknowledged the thanks with a tweet that remains on Elon Musk's account and says, "You're welcome. As always, please stay as close to the truth as possible, even for stuff you don't like," he added, and that this platform aspires to maximize signal/noise of the human collective.
So basically, he only did it because it was outside of what he would normally push or agree with or whatever else, and he wanted to look like he was the cool ex-owner.
I
and
mean,
was
he's not an
pushing
idiot.
everything.
He's not an idiot, so I don't know why he did that.
Some days he's pretty dumb. He's
Yeah.
made some pretty dumb decisions in life.
Unbelievably and more intelligent than most of the people.
Oh, yeah.
But he does some dumb stuff.
Yeah. I think it's 'cause
Some
he's
really
a guy.
dumb stuff. So, all right, you're off the podcast. You know who gets really mad? When you say the guys.
The guys.
But
Depending on the accent, it comes out totally different, so you gotta be careful.
yeah, so it says, but that's the thing. Please stay as close to the truth as possible, even for stuff you don't like. And
That part is important.
When you stay as close to the truth as possible with stuff you don't like, in turn, YouTube and your audience don't like it either.
No.
But we've also discovered that the videos that typically get the lower amount of views are probably from the more intelligent amount of people.
Yes. I'd much rather have less views from people with brain cells than more views from people with none.
So I don't look at YouTube providing lower views on a video as it not being successful. I actually probably look at it as being more successful because it actually reached a much better audience.
I'm glad we're on the same page now. Because before, we have to admit, like in the beginning of YouTube, it's all about getting subscribers and getting views, getting subscribers and getting views. And so, you make your videos and you put them up and you hope it gets a lot of views. And when it doesn't, you're like, oh, well, I'll make another one.
Except for when they do get a lot of views.
And then sometimes
you
you're
see
still like
the
crap.
people that it brought in.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh.
You see the change in revenue. And you're like,
eek.
Richard sent me a DM on Instagram about some other creator who was complaining about his views and his revenue. And it's like, if only people really knew how YouTube worked, it's not just views and ads. It's not just like there's so many factors that come into play. I couldn't even begin to even get into it here. But you'd have to be in it to know.
True, I agree.
It's like if you were to try to explain to somebody, for instance, it was funny because we were eating dinner and some friends were talking about the service industry here in our area.
Yeah.
And I'm laughing because I'm like, yo, they are in it.
Yeah.
And they know it.
Yeah.
And for you to then try to explain certain things to people who aren't in it, they'll never get it.
Yeah.
They'll never understand it. And you would need days to explain it to them.
Well, I mean, you and I know how to take out boats and stuff, but if you try to put me on a sailboat, we're either going to crash or drown.
We don't speak the same language.
We don't speak the same language.
So it says, according to my words, my opinion, internet historians,
Okay.
which that should be a job.
That
really.
should be a job.
Scent Defender 2 has a history of fake news, posting a phony AI-generated picture of a massive explosion at the Pentagon back in May. He posted a phony AI-generated picture of an explosion of the Pentagon back in May.
Why?
That's a good question.
And who believed it?
This is why I don't go to Twitter anymore.
Oh, I
have a Twitter.
Same.
So if you guys caught the email blast that went out yesterday, you'll see there's a link to Twitter at the bottom. But as far as actually reading and consuming news, every news article and story that was presented to me angered me so much because I'm like, this isn't true. This isn't real.
Well, I get stuff emailed to me all the time, and before I'll read it, I look at where it's coming from, and I'm like, you got to understand, this site is so incredibly one direction that it's going to be very, very biased. And, especially if you get one from each side talking about the same topic, it's like you got to right down the middle with it because that's the only way to find out what's like real.
And, the beauty of it is now you could even go as far as saying it incorrectly on purpose with the apology video already primed up and ready to go. After that video kind of dies down, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, guys, I said the wrong thing. But everybody heard what you said. They probably won't hear you say, I said it wrong. You see what I'm saying? State the lie as a question.
That happens.
I wonder if he'll ever come back.
I'll say it's been a minute since.
You would think that this tragedy would maybe.
No, because it's not here. It's not
Do you think that's what he's waiting for?
Something that affects the American people.
Or you think he got pissed off because that reckless guy stole his video and got more views than him just by sitting there looking at it?
Probably that too.
So Emerson T. Brooking, a researcher at the Atlantic Council Digital Forensics Research Lab, called Scent Defender is an absolutely poisonous account, regularly posting wrong and unverifiable things, inserting random editorialization, and trying to juice its paid subscriber count, he added. Like I said, just wait till YouTube starts cracking that hammer. Because you got to think, YouTube is a follower. YouTube is following TikTok. YouTube's following Twitter. YouTube's following Instagram.
Yeah.
YouTube does not know its own identity. And as these other platforms start to drop
YouTube
the
is
hammer,
confused.
yeah.
Yeah.
What are YouTube's pronouns, by the way? Do we know?
I would assume they, them.
There's one guy, he got so mad. I saw this guy, and I don't remember his name, but he was sitting there, he was venting on a video. He's like, look, I can't say certain things about certain stories because my channel will get flagged, this, that, and the other. But YouTube is saved the day because they've now made it available for you to add the pronouns to your profile.
So
I can't even get accurate video analytic data on my studio. But guess what? All is right with the world because they've added pronouns to your profile now.
I saw this reel. I think it was on Instagram. Maybe it was Facebook Shorts. Wait, Facebook Reels? Instagram Stories? I don't know. I saw it somewhere. And it's Candace Owens, and she's at a college, and they're talking about certain rights versus feelings versus whatever else. And I didn't used to, honestly, I didn't like Candace Owens when I first saw her, like a couple years ago. I was kind of like, I don't understand you. And then I listened to her more and more, and I'm like, I don't agree with everything you say, but there are certain things that you say that I'm like, I get it, and you have the balls to say it and not worry about who's listening to you and if they're going to like what you have to say or not, you know? Mm-hmm. And so I saw this thing where she's at a school, and the school is talking about certain rights, and she was like, just because you feel a certain way, it's not up to me to validate you. You know what I mean? And I was like, ma'am, I think I love you.
No, she's on it. I mean, and she's very smart, very intelligent. She is very calm and collected with her debate.
Yeah, I couldn't do what Candace Owens does. I am not calm and collected. I would have, it would not work out. I'm very emotional, and she is very zen. Maybe I need to start meditating. I don't know.
But man, what was I going to say about Candace Owens? I was going to say that it would have been funny if YouTube says, "Hey guys, we just rolled out this new feature of adding pronouns to your profile," and you go to click on it. This would have been hilarious. And there's only 2.
Yeah,
it's like we rolled out this, and everyone's like, "Yeah!" And then you go and you're like, "Oh, it's just the 2 that should be there."
Well, name your sex: male, female, other, don't wanna, whatever. And it's like, it goes back to just 2: male, female.
Oh, man. Yeah. So, meanwhile, Elon's original tweet outraged followers, including some who have long accused Elon Musk of allowing the platform to promote anti-Semitic content. Researchers at Beam found in June that the volume of English language anti-Semitic tweets has more than doubled since the company's takeover by Musk in October of 2022. Maybe he should have fired that division of the company that was handling that situation. But I will say that more than likely the increase is coming from the rise in reach and virality from the use of the negative.
Yes.
So as soon as someone's identify, oh, hey, here's the new trend of negativity that's getting me greater reach, jump on board.
I call it the new trigger because that's what it is.
Jump on board. Even if you don't use it in a negative way, but you want to discuss it, well, you get to use the negative term.
I will get in my comments all the time, why aren't you talking about this? Because I don't want to. I mean, there's plenty of reasons. 1, I don't want to. 2, I can't prove it. 3, I think it's stupid. 4, it's over talked about.
There's certain conversations that you really shouldn't even bother to discuss because you can't speak logic to the masses who have already agreed to accept the narrative that they've been fed. So, And if you don't want to talk about it, you don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Why do I need to talk about it when 9,000 other people are talking about it and lying about it? Just go watch their videos.
My favorite is you have two people. One is feeding crap to another. And over here, you have truth that first crap feeder admitted, but you cannot get the other one to understand and listen because they're so busy listening to crap that they refuse to see the truth.
Yeah, and they've already heard it. They don't even hear what you're saying.
No.
They're not here. They don't hear you. They're not listening.
And I was thinking it goes far beyond that situation. It goes everywhere.
Oh, for sure. I had some people say, well, Kevin, will you discuss the Black history syllabus and issue in Florida? Nah,
No.
I'm good. Because y'all too stupid to understand that. Mm-hmm. Well, what about the fact that they're going to ban interracial marriages? I'm like, nah, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
So, no. Thanks, but no thanks.
Appreciate you, but no.
Please unsubscribe on your way out of here. So, YouTube is making some changes, as I said earlier, to their ads.
Okay. That was loud, I know. Ice. My bad.
You're doing the ASMR and the thing.
Accidental.
With the ice.
Oh.
So, YouTube's making some changes to their ads. And people might get excited about this.
They've already made some changes. And the most noticeable one I have seen is that the first ad that hits a video, it's two unskippable ads that are both like 5 seconds each. That's what I've noticed on every single video I watch.
They are taking this away for good.
The creator's ability to put ads in? Am I right?
I was going to ask you if you can guess what this is.
Is that it?
Are you reading my notes?
Because here's the problem. So I'll put up a video and I will wait and see how many ads they put in. And if they don't put
Hang on. Before you go.
Okay.
Because you're skipping ahead here.
Oh, my
This
bad.
is not working out the way I had it written here.
Do you need me to guess again? Do we need some wrong guesses first?
Before you go into that,
Okay.
take notes if you need to remember where
I'm on
you're
it.
going.
No, I'll forget even with the notes.
Let's just pause for a moment and add in some silence to the podcast. Do you know why?
Moment of silence for the death of YouTube.
Yeah, for the death of YouTube. That's a good one. But really, it was just so YouTube could add an advertisement.
Advertisement. Oh, that's why I don't get so
During the
many on
pause.
2.0 because I never shut up. That makes perfect
YouTube,
sense.
make sure you put an ad in that little break there.
Yeah.
So, they're not getting rid of ads.
No.
Spoiler alert. They're not getting rid of ads, but we're going to talk about that. But seriously, welcome back, subscribers. And hello and welcome to all new viewers and listeners.
We're like an hour and 20 in.
Honestly, I can't see that far
I
away.
can't see that far
I don't know. Make sure you come and check us out over on Patreon. And I think that this week I will begin to get us set up on Spotify or just RSS feeds or something to expand our reach to the podcast listening community.
I'll say it's already cool because as long as it's listed as a podcast, it's on YouTube Music.
It is
as
on
a
YouTube
podcast.
music, yeah. But I think the RSS feed is going to be good. So I'll do that. And then I'll decide if we go to Spotify or Apple or whatever.
Explain to me what RSS feeds is later.
And yeah, put that on their notes there.
RSS.
And then there's
Like a
a
little
there's a
secretary.
private RSS feeds for Patreon members, which I found out today that we can upload our podcasts for members only through the private Patreon RSS feeds that then populates their podcast players, whether it's Spotify or Apple or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So you don't have to
Okay.
listen to the podcast on Patreon.
I got it.
You can listen to it anywhere, but you can only have access to it if you're a member.
That makes sense. Okay.
And that's where we can really get into the weeds and talk about some things that we can't talk about here.
Yeah.
So yeah, make sure you come check us out over on Patreon. But I do need to see what the best podcast hosting platform is to upload our episodes to. But I think it's a mixture of RSS feeds and then the podcast player. So I gotta dive into that.
Okay.
I was also yesterday very impressed with our sound quality.
Using regular microphones.
No,
What do you mean?
on the boat. The speakers on that boat.
Yeah, the speakers on the boat were amazing. Yeah.
So it had the newest infotainment or head unit, and it also had adjustments for bass, mid, and treble.
I didn't see all that.
I don't know if you noticed on our way out, I was adjusting it, and then we were able to crank it up. And that joker
It was nice. It was crisp.
Yeah.
Crispy.
loud and clear,
like
and
peanut
not
oil
peaking.
French fries.
Yeah.
Crispy.
But today we're testing out our little podcast setup here, and you got the Shure SM7B, and the main reason why you have it is because the mic in your shirt gets a little muffled. Mm-hmm. So
because it starts to flip and then it ends up on my skin, which is why I'm constantly doing this and messing with
hear
it.
your heartbeat and stuff. So
Over here.
so you got this one, and we're pretty compact today.
Yeah.
And so what I ended up
Tight
doing was I ran it like normal through our DJI wireless mic, but then you're running into your mic like normal with that, but I'm just holding this one. We'll see how it goes, and maybe we'll break out the other SM7B or expand this in the future. We'll see.
Or the Yeti Blue.
It's a little different setup because these are XLR.
So the Yeti Blue doesn't hook into any of this kind of stuff.
Not really.
Okay.
No.
Never mind.
You want the Yeti?
No.
Is that what you want? I can find a way to make it work.
No. This works.
I can find if you want.
This is comfortable. This is
If you want the
perfect
Yeti,
angles.
I'll find a way to make the Yeti work. Do you really want the Yeti?
It looks like it's a radio microphone.
That's why I got it for you.
I know.
This is way back. People don't even know how far back that goes.
Yeah.
That was a whole different podcast. So either way, click the link in the description. Sign up for our newsletter to be included in receiving those emails. Lots of good stuff being sent out, so don't miss out. All right. So YouTube is going to remove some of their ad stuff. What were you going to say?
I was going to say it was going to remove the ability for creators to put the ads into the videos.
So
Because before they
had that little, I've got the little highlighted blue notification across the top of my YouTube studio.
I did too. I just hit dismiss. I didn't read it. But it used to be that you could pick, you as a creator could pick if you want skippable ads, non-skippable, bumper ads, overlay ads, whatever the other things are. And then they took your ability to pick what kind of ads away. And then they just let you pick if you want to let them like in there. Like you couldn't pick skippable or non-skippable anymore from what I remember.
They're really missing out on those overlays on TV.
Oh yeah, because you don't ever see them.
I don't think they do. But it says that YouTube is going to remove some ad controls for creators, and YouTube creators won't be able to individually select if pre-roll, post-roll, skippable, and non-skippable ads appear in new videos. Be excited.
Be excited.
Instead, creators will only be able to choose between having ads before or after a video on or off. If you choose to have those ads on, YouTube will choose whether to show pre-roll, post-roll, skippable, or non-skippable ads when appropriate. In quotations, they oddly did that.
So what's funny is
When appropriate.
What's funny is some videos, they will put 20 ads into a 40-minute.
Film Booth just... Oh, they being YouTube?
YouTube will put 20 ads into one of my 40-minute videos. Literally every 2 minutes they're putting an ad in. And then other ones, it'll be an hour long, and they're like 3. And I can't ever figure out what determines that. The more you edit, the less ads I think they give you.
It's funny because...
That's the only thing I noticed differently about my edited video. They only gave me like 3 ads, whereas before that I would get...
In my opinion, we'd have to do another edited video on a different topic.
Yeah, to see.
Like I said, there's a lot that goes on.
Yeah.
It's not so cut and dry.
It's not.
You cannot make a determination on your video or your channel or performance.
Based off one video.
No way.
No.
So, and the problem is there's really no A and B tests.
There isn't.
Because I would love to do the same video multiple times in different ways, but every day, every minute,
it changes.
It's different.
Yeah, because you have a different audience tuning in at that time. You have different advertisers paying
everything
that day.
is different.
Everything
You will
is
never
different.
know.
Yeah. It's like Doctor Strange, the 1 out of 14 million.
So it's funny that they put when appropriate.
I like how only your right hand does this.
So
That's your left hand, my bad.
So Film Booth, he made a video the other day about how to get more revenue by adding more ads and where to place them and things like that. But his videos are automatically outdated because they're going to do away. They're doing away. Okay, so I guess you can still choose how many mid rolls you can have.
Because that's what I was saying. Like,
Okay.
I don't know because I always choose. If I do it myself, I try to every 5 to 6 minutes. That way, it's not overwhelming. Even knowing that they're not going to show them every 5 or 6 minutes, which I think a lot of people don't realize. You do not get shown probably a third of the ads that are in a single video.
But I think that this when appropriate in quotations is a little bit of it's a hint that even if we don't like your content and you put ads every 10 seconds, we're not going to show them.
So I've had people that will do the whole, you must be talking a lot of truth because they're putting ads every 30 seconds. And my brain goes, or they just know that it's something people are going to click on and advertisers want to be in it.
But also this truth is usually often confused with lies, mistruths,
Not mine.
manipulation.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying.
Be specific.
Yeah, not yours.
Like yesterday when you were saying how, news channels, I consider myself a news channel.
Well, that's
just
because
not what
YouTube
everybody else is
has
doing.
ranked you with other news channels.
Yeah.
That's, but you consider yourself a U channel. Like,
Yeah, it's just whatever I want to talk about. And it happens to be a lot of times not entertainment related.
Yeah. So I think these folks out here who are pretending to deliver the truth, again, the preppers and the homesteaders pretending to be preppers and homesteaders are probably going to be the ones who are not going to get ads shown in their videos when appropriate.
Yeah.
Mid-roll, in my opinion, didn't really matter anyway. No matter how many you added or not, and Film Booth even mentioned it, there were no guarantees they were going to be shown.
Yeah.
But now, maybe this is the beginning of YouTube trying to ding creators, channels. I got to be careful what I say here.
Yeah.
For instance, the reaction channels out there and the tragic news chase. I'm gonna call them tragic news chasers.
They're like ambulance chasers, like those lawyers that chase the accidents. Yeah.
I think that when appropriate, it's like, oh well, you're still monetized. YouTube is trying to play this game where they don't upset anybody.
Yeah.
The thumbs down button is still there, but we're not going to show people how many thumbs down your video got.
Yeah.
The most recent upload ranking is still there, but we're going to allow you to collapse that so you don't have to see a 10 of 10.
Yeah.
And we're going to still let you
be monetized
and put ads, but we'll only show them when appropriate.
Yeah.
But we don't deem your video appropriate. We're not going to give you a yellow. We're not going to give you a red or anything like that.
You're just not going to make any money.
We're just not going to show any ads.
Yeah. You're going to have very low CPM, very low RPM, things like that.
People don't like getting bad news.
No,
Even
it's easier. What is it? A spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. It's a real thing. Mary Poppins. They know. The
channels who are going to get hit, I'd call them out, but I don't want to give them any unnecessary recognition for the terrible content that they publish, so I will not. Now, YouTube argues that this won't be too big of a deal.
Well, because they have so many new channels coming in that are doing the things they probably won't.
They're going to say that because they don't want to alarm anybody.
Well, yeah.
Oh, it's not a big deal.
No, it's not a big deal.
And
you're just going to be hemorrhaging. It's fine.
Again,
it's not a big deal.
In quotation, you're just going to quit. You're just going to quit soon.
You're just going to quit. It's fine.
That in quotations, again, most creators shouldn't notice a change as they already have many of these ad formats turned on by default. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll see. Most creators probably said, hey, my revenue's gone down recently. But that's the other thing. It's like if you aren't built to drive revenue outside of YouTube ads, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you really doing?
Yeah.
Either way. YouTube is also introducing a few new ad options for mid-roll ads. For live streams, creators will be able to see a 60-second countdown before an ad appears, with an option to skip that ad if they don't want to interrupt the stream.
As somebody who live streams every Monday at 5 o'clock on SquirrelTribe 2.0, never seen that shit.
So, all right.
Never once have I seen it. All I know is I'll have 500 people in there, and then it'll say 420 or 421. I'm like, where'd they go? I'm like, ad. And then they'll come back in and they're like, ad. So they'll tell me, and I'm like...
So, in my opinion, this new 60-second countdown is just going to be very distracting.
Yeah, I was thinking the same
for
thing.
solo live streamers, because you're not only focusing on what your live is, you're focusing on the live chat, but now you got this ad coming up, and then the pressure's on.
Yeah, to stop talking right before.
To either hurry up or stop or warn or delay or whatever.
But then everybody doesn't get the ad at the same time?
True.
Even in a live stream.
So even if you said, hey guys, there's an ad coming, you kind of pause, there's still a percentage of your audience
that are still sitting there watching you just not do anything.
That YouTube decided not to show.
Yeah.
Because
the ones who have
not appropriate.
YouTube Premium, they're not going to see the ad.
True, you're right. But I also think that this is only going to work if you're using certain encoders to go live. So like your phone is not going to show it.
I wouldn't think so.
But if you're using the YouTube encoder, then I think because I've seen it. I just prefer not to use it because it's a hassle.
Yeah,
and I don't really care.
Okay,
like, if they're gonna show ad, they're gonna show ad. I don't care. Yeah. Whatever. I got premium, so I really don't care.
I think ads are a great time to go blow your nose, go potty, go get a drink. It's like the previews before the movie starts. I know that once the lights go down, you still have about 45 minutes now before the actual movie starts.
If you knew ads were coming, then you would stop talking, you blow your nose, you scratch, you fart or something.
Yeah, something like that.
And then people are like, hey, we got premium. We can see
everything you're like. Let's keep going.
So lastly, YouTube ad changes arrive on the heels of news of its experiments with longer but less frequent ad breaks on connected TVs. Now, we did watch Kara and Nate on a free one.
Yeah.
So it had ads.
Yeah.
And those ads were not longer or less frequent. There was a lot of ads.
Yeah, there was a lot of
on
ads.
That one.
Yeah.
But that was probably Kara and Nate throwing them in there because I think that they're realizing something's not right here.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
Yeah. So they go back to the van. They add more ads. They tried really hard, but that video was so off. That video was so off.
When they went and had breakfast and we're like, where'd this guy come from? Like, I thought y'all were meeting them at some place. I didn't know
there was a little
already.
Text on the screen as they were pulling the van out and it said something with somebody else, but there was never an introduction until they got to Cracker Barrel and he's just there.
Yeah. It was awkward. Whoever their new editor is, I don't love it, but I know that they
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to tell you, they probably got that video on time and they were like,
we hate it. I told you that, but they were like, we have to let it go because she actually posted on her Instagram that she said something wrong in the video, but they couldn't go back and change it. It was too late. So when they said that they were triple tandem biking, what do they call that one? Tandem biking? I don't know. I'm making up words. From Oceanside, California to Washington, D.C. It's not Washington, D.C. It's a different city because they're going from tire in the water to tire in the water. So Washington, D.C. is not their final point.
Yeah. I don't know. And then
it felt forced.
It was not their norm. But that's the thing. And here's the other thing. All these people, all these big names out here saying, outsource your editing, outsource your editing, outsource your editing.
They don't see you the way you see you.
I can remember back when Kara was editing the videos. Yeah. And I can tell you now, like...
She's not. There's a massive difference between...
And if you're farming it out to a company that then farms it out to a low-paid hourly employee, like, good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Which is also, in the beginning, why... I didn't want to edit anything because if I couldn't do it myself, I didn't want to send it to somebody who was going to cut out the things. And I know this sounds real stupid, but I make facial expressions.
No, I keep your facial expressions in there. I keep those facial expressions.
Because I don't even realize what I'm like, because everything's off the top of my head while I'm going. It's just how I react to things. And then I'll see something back and I'll be like, I cannot believe that's the face I made. Like, I don't realize the faces I pull while I talk.
I keep the I'm the only editor.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. So you can edit, but you don't. And we don't use Wondershare Filmora anymore.
Yeah. So I wouldn't.
And you haven't used Final Cut Pro, but the kid, she jumped on it in like 2 seconds.
She's
so,
great.
but
if I told her to edit my videos, she would accentuate all the faces I make, and she would make them real stupid.
You should make a short one and let her edit it.
Extra dumb.
So that would be funny.
That would be.
So then the next one coming from them is something with Nate's 89-year-old
grandfather, which is an emotional
his VW bus. That thing is nice.
I wanted one of those.
That
since
Joker
I was
looked
probably
nice.
14.
I'm glad he's doing it. I wonder how it's going to work, which I think he does too, which is why he made a point to mention it. Like, hey guys, the next video,
it's more emotional. It's not us.
But it's also a completely different feel, I would imagine.
Oh yeah.
Based on the editor that's doing it, I'm really interested to see how that's going to work out. I almost feel like they should do it and then the next day upload a regular video.
Well, here's the thing.
Not wait a week.
If that one does well, then it gives them the idea that maybe they can pull back a little bit on all these adventures and the traveling and the whatever else. Maybe that's part of it too, to see if they can kind of settle somewhere for a minute, because they've been constantly moving for 7 years.
I don't think they want to settle.
I think one does and the other doesn't.
I don't think they want to settle, but there was definitely some tension between the two of them.
There was definitely.
Driving to Vegas. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
So the company YouTube has also announced that the 30-second unskippable ads when watching YouTube on connected TVs and is experimenting with disabling videos for people using ad blockers.
Because you hear that a lot in comments, like, oh, just get ad blockers. That's what I have. And basically that's hurting YouTube because they're not getting paid for YouTube Premium, and the advertisers aren't getting their views. And so they would try to find a way to cut down on that, I would assume.
But it's all in the name, okay? Ads. Because people have watched commercials for centuries.
Yeah.
But somehow ads on YouTube are intolerable.
Even though commercials and ads are the same thing, they're both trying to sell you something.
You could always buy a YouTube Premium membership. And honestly, I like the ads. That's a great way for creators to get paid. And without it, the platform wouldn't exist.
Well, some ads that come up, I'm like, oh, I'm going to look into that later. Like the Better Health one, or what was that mental one that came up before when they had during the whole pandemic, whatever, when people couldn't go out anywhere, but they needed somebody to talk to, that online therapy thing. I don't remember what it's called. I think that's Better Health, but I don't remember. Those kind of things were great.
Oh, I found some cool tools to use for the content that we create and productivity, but without it, we would be forced to watch TikTok, read newspapers, or worse, talk to people.
Oh, egats.
But for real, it's like, oh my God, I can't believe they're showing ads. It's like,
do you
even fathom like the slightest percentage of what it takes to run a business?
These are the same people who have no problem sitting there watching the commercials of Charmin bears wiping their butts in the middle of, Roseanne or whatever TV show.
Or appreciate the commercials in between the Kardashians, keeping up with them so that they can run and,
jump off a bridge.
All right, we're moving on.
Okay.
We're moving on to a new category, which it almost is ironic for me to say, but it's called...
This?
It's just
new category. Why does my brain think of that pyramid show? Anyway,
I labeled it dumb stories, but I feel like that's what we've been talking about the whole time. So I don't know.
I like dumb stories.
Yeah,
I can probably tell you a ton of them.
These are pretty dumb.
Okay.
All right. So here we go.
Okay.
Insane tornado video. Storm chasers trapped in storm pray to Jesus for help. Jesus. Jeremy Clarkson.
Yes.
Jesus. I gotta just say, careful what you wish for, because you might just get it.
I was about to say, if you pray for that, he's like, all right, come on, let's go. And he just takes you. And then you're like, that's not what I meant. Well, you should have been way more specific.
Well,
if you didn't learn that in Aladdin with the genie, I don't know what to tell you. Be real specific with your wish.
The storm chasers, yeah, you're right. They pray, they wish for tornadoes.
Yeah, so they have something to do.
Yeah. But now you're in the middle of the damn tornado, and now you asking for Jesus.
A little too late.
You might get you be careful what you ask for.
Yeah.
You fling your ass out the damn truck.
You asked for it and I gave it to you. What else do you want?
What more do you want
from me?
Now, I really only wanted to include this because I see Economic Ninja, I see Tommy Bites, and I also see some very preachy and homely looking lady who lives on a farm mention God all the time in their videos, and it seems like it's getting more views. So name drop,
God,
pray to Jesus for help. I'm just saying.
That's the thing. People are using it because a lot of people are turning to religion right now for things they don't understand in hopes of understanding things a little bit better. And there are creators out there. Hell, there's my bad. There's TV shows. There's
Remember,
movies.
we're allowed one F-bomb.
Yeah, I know. I didn't do it. There's TV shows. There's movies that will also prey on that, no pun intended, because they know people are looking towards religion right now. So you have these creators out there that are ensuring that they put that little excerpt in their videos, their titles, or whatever else, in hopes of the algorithm hearing it and pushing it a little bit farther. And like I said,
people lack the ability to carry on a conversation. Therefore, we need to trick everyone into wanting to watch and see and hear. But actually, they don't even really watch. They don't really listen. Yeah. The engagement's probably less than 30%. All because we included, a Bible verse.
Now, the channels you mentioned, I would say, I don't know about Travis, but I would say one of them legitimately means everything they say and have always talked that way and whatever else. And the other one is using it to hide their bullying and whatever else. One, I have no issue with. The other one, I think is used.
I don't have any
for
issue with
gimmicks.
any of them. I just understand and identify the trends that are happening on YouTube with content creators, trends, what works, best practices, especially when they fall into my channel audience category, which I am trying to move
so
away
hard
from.
To move away from, yeah.
But seriously though, tornadoes are something to avoid at all costs. Really.
As much as humanly possible, not chase after them.
But also, based on some of the comments I read, a lot of folks out there are ready to get off this planet and meet Jesus.
I hear that all the time.
Like yesterday. They're ready to go.
I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure you could figure out how to make that happen if that's really what you want. Why comment it? Why is this what we're talking about?
Rapture,
I'm ready for the rapture. I'm ready to meet
better read Revelation. Look.
If you're ready for all that, you wouldn't be watching.
Go out west.
You wouldn't be watching any of this stuff trying to figure out how to avoid it if you were really that ready for it. It's like saying, I'm ready to feel what being electrocuted feels like, so I'm just going to go. You would need to stick your finger in something.
I dare you.
Not happening.
Next on Dumb Stories.
Okay. Ring
Cameras offers $1 million prize for alien footage captured on our tech. So get ready for more lies and AI generated fakes.
I was about to say that's the problem.
And pranks and.
So I saw a short yesterday, and it was from like the 1950s, black and white Mickey Mouse, right? And it's when he's working
on the little boat,
conveyor line, whatever, and he's making cheese. But the way the holes were put in the cheese was Mickey was putting holes in this cheese, and people in the comments, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that's what we used to watch as kids. And I'm going, you're idiots. This is fake. This is AI generated. And sure enough, if you bother to get into like the description of it, it says that there is a channel that makes these fake videos with old cartoons and old whatever else is. So all these times people are like, I can't believe you never noticed this. Well, it's because it wasn't ever there.
It's like
the
little
real
Renaissance memes where they use
yeah.
I think they didn't say that back then, but it's funny.
I mean, Abraham Lincoln said, believe, nothing you read on the internet.
If you understand it's a joke, that's one thing. But a lot of people
don't get the joke.
And the problem is we have to tell them, give me your hand. You got to tell them, say, you know this is a joke, right? Like you have
to hold them, walk them through it. And that is the problem. And I mean, I've fallen gullible or susceptible or whatever the right word is to things myself. I mean, I did it with Meet Kevin with the whole getting sued by Trump. Isn't that what it was?
It was April 1st.
Yeah, but I didn't put that together. All I saw was the headline. And I'm thinking to myself, Meet Kevin never has, so he never would. And I say to you, and you go, man.
I just hope on April 1st, nobody has anything important to say because I'm like, I don't believe you.
It's April 1st.
So, but this is Neil Moen, the CEO of YouTube. This is his fault because I told you yesterday, he's all excited about Dream Screen, where you can literally say, hey, produce a little clip that looks like Mickey Mouse from the 50s in black and white.
Getting
where he's
dirty with a hunk of cheese.
Where he's,
brown chicken, wow,
poking holes in cheese. And make it have a little mac and cheese sound in the background.
Oh God!
Like
you've ruined everything for me now.
And it would do it.
It would. That's the problem.
And the thing is, these are then going to be presented as shorts on YouTube and other places, and people aren't going to realize that
it's not real.
That YouTube made it. YouTube, you can just tell YouTube to make whatever outlandish thing you want, and it will do it. And then people will watch it, and they won't know
that it's not real.
That it's not real.
Because there's no little, what is that? Not the claim at the bottom. What's that called?
They're going to have to put that.
But what's it called?
Disclaimer?
Yes.
They're going to have to put that. Just like that little disclaimer on Facebook before you watch somebody die, which I can't believe they did that.
I cannot believe that it's a video.
Which I don't know if the kid died, but Jesus.
It sure looked like it.
They're going to have to do that.
Yeah.
You're going to be interrupted by trashy content because you're going to have to sign off on watching something that's probably not real.
Yeah.
So anyway, just putting it out there. Now would probably be a good time for you to come check us out on Patreon before it's too late. Oh man, if you're on that level, if you're not on that level, we ain't.
Don't do it.
Yeah,
don't do it.
More dumb stories. I have plenty here actually.
I'm so excited. I don't have to pee at all.
Emergency alert test. I feel like you're not telling the truth,
but it's fine because I just drank an entire thing of that.
Do you remember what I said before the alert would happen?
Holler.
After that.
You said nothing was going to change.
I also said
people are going to lose their minds over something that isn't a big deal.
And I also said
there are plenty of people who are going to fall for.
And
whatever.
I also said You don't remember what I
I
said?
don't remember what you said.
This one comes out of New York. Prisoners busted with phones behind bars.
Oh, no, but you know who else was busted with phones? Amish people.
What?
Yep. So Amish, because in the Amish community, you're not allowed to have electronics. And they said that when this October 4th thing went off, so many men were caught with cell phones in their pockets because the alert went off. And now they're being like excommunicated. I don't know if that's the right
You
word.
think they would have watched them Off Grid with Doug and Stacey? They would have known.
They can't. They're real Amish. They're not allowed to. So that's another thing. Off Grid Doug and Stacey.
That's
Do
what
they say
but
that they're
I
Amish
said it
because
the
you
day
can't have electronics if
before.
you're Amish.
You got a good point there. And I said the day before, I said the kids
I said, Sid?
in school need to know.
Yeah.
But I didn't even go and expand on this. Granted,
Well, I
could have made a video where I
women in
explained
domestic violence and stuff like that.
I could have made a video where I explained people how time zones work. Well, if it's 2:20 on the East Coast, it'll be 1:20.
No, I had to do
Central.
that.
It's like,
I had to do
oh
that.
my God.
But I
Right?
did it in a community post because I couldn't.
So
I've been
I
going
didn't
live at
warn-
5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for a year. No, not even that long. Like 10 months.
Uh-huh.
And I still have people going, don't you mean 6? Nope.
Central, 5 Central.
Yeah, 5 Central. I say, talking to you, I mess it up. Yeah, I'm 5 Central. And they're like, don't you mean 6? No. Well, you live in Florida. It's Eastern Time. Nope.
Not in this part of Florida.
Not this part of Florida.
So, yeah, I am blown away by the level of stupidity out there, but the stupidity may be more so just unawareness, lack of, and I don't even know how to describe it and how to fix it.
Well, the Amish people being caught with phones, I understand that goes against what they're supposed to be about, but I also think it's smart to have something that can tell you.
You know what happened?
what's happening.
when the alert went off?
Not a goddamn thing.
My phone vibrated.
Yeah, so did mine.
You know what it didn't do?
Scream at me for 30 minutes.
You know why?
Because you had it on vibrate.
Yes. Why are prisoners in jail with the ringer on? Like, what are we doing?
Because that vibrate's more noticeable when you get stuff, I guess. I don't know.
When you got it in your prison wallet?
Yeah. I feel like you could. Can you imagine you're walking around and it vibrates? You're like, oh, God. Oh, God.
Shoved up your prison
But
wallet.
if you just have it on a chirp, nobody would ever know. And you can just say, I farted. My bad. It was just a.
So prisoners were busted with the phones behind bars at New York State Prison. A New York State prison confiscated the phones at Sing Sing Correctional Facility during the test. It's like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Next up, Amazon Alexa tells users the 2020 presidential election was stolen
I saw
by
that
a
one.
massive amount of election fraud,
Did I send that one to you? Oh, because I saw it and I was like, well, we know what side Alexa's on.
causing Bezos' empire to scramble to explain content.
Well, didn't we also learn that if there is an Alexa or what's the other one? Alexa or Siri kind of thing? Alexa's the only
You got
one,
Alexa,
right?
you got Siri, and you got Hey Google.
Okay, so was
Google
it Hey
Google
Google or
Assistant.
Alexa
Google Assistant.
at the condo?
That was Alexa.
So Alexa will also tell you information in a condo of people who were there before you.
They had the condo set up with Alexa, and they knew who was staying there.
Yeah.
At that time,
Yeah.
But we started asking Alexa questions
All
about
kinds
who
of
was there
questions.
before us and
it
who
gave
was
us
coming.
last names, and it gave us who was coming next, and how long they were staying, what day they were arriving, and I'm like, Alexa is a snitch,
Yeah.
like straight up. So, fellas, ladies, Alexa is a snitch.
Wait, but Alexa's got the visual one too, so it's like a screen. So not only is she listening, but she's watching you too.
Just like a woman. Sneaky.
But I don't know if what Alexa said is more fake news or is it real.
Dun dun dun.
Next up on the list, Biden. Biden asked slam for holding a barbecue at the White House as Hamas holds Americans hostage and kills at least 4 during their surprise attack on Israel, which left 700 Israelis dead. President makes no statement day after the assault.
So here's the question. Here's a couple questions, and I'm going to sound heartless, but does everything in our country stop because something is happening in somebody else's country? That's like, do we stop living our life because 5 houses down the road, they're having an argument in there? No, we keep living ours, and they deal with their shit inside their doors. Like, that's how that works. However, Israel is supposed to be one of our biggest allies, and for us to say nothing, do nothing, look some kind of way, especially when we're spending all this money to help Ukraine. against Russia.
You make very, very valid points, as always.
You generally do.
Biden is slammed for holding a barbecue at the White House as Hamas holds Americans hostage and kills at least 4 during their surprise attack on Israel, which has left 700 Israelis dead. The president makes no statement day after assault. Well, I can pretty much guarantee you that the Democrats, the progressive left, did not write that.
No.
Therefore, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier.
Was something actually said?
It's one side is being blasted and the other side is being uplifted. And it's like there's no real balance.
Yeah.
So you make a valid statement. Do we really need to stop everything? I got it. But then these super, conservatives are saying, ultra right are like, this is a great opportunity to make this guy look like a complete jerk.
So let's look at it like this. I have no idea what the barbecue was about. What if this barbecue had been, he was bringing in a ton of money to help cancer-stricken children.
He wasn't.
I know, but I'm just saying, I don't know what's going on. But if that had been the case, if it was a whatever, and he had canceled that, he still would have got crapped on for, this was supposed to help the kids. How could you stop that to talk about some other country that's not even ours? There is no winning. It does not depend who is in office or what office they're in. There is no winning.
No good deed goes unpunished. Except for the good deed that you did yesterday, where you sent me this DM on Instagram where Biden is standing at a podium and he says,
"You're welcome."
America's a nation that can be defined in a single word. Man, he's such a disaster. All right, next up on Dumb Stories, I was going to say Dwayne The Rock Johnson addresses Maui Fund backlash.
So this is funny. So you know how he's like besties with Kevin Hart?
Yeah.
And they're always seen together. Well, there was this meme where Kevin Hart was huge and Dwayne Johnson was small, and it says, when you have a big heart and a small Johnson. It was just really funny.
So the quote says, "I get it, and I completely understand." Quote, end quote. And this is where he and Oprah Winfrey asked the public to donate to a Maui wildfire recovery fund last month. Mm-hmm. He said, and I quote, "When we first launched the fund, there was some backlash," and added, "I get it, and I completely understand, and I could have been better, and next time I will be better."
Oh, no. Well, that's like no. That's like when you're getting your food through the drive-thru and they hand it to you, or Starbucks, they say, "Enjoy your coffee." You too. They're not. It's not. I know it's not same, but it's
I like the yes and approach. The non-acceptance of guilt or wrongdoing, and definitely not apologizing.
Yeah.
Did you hear what I like?
Next. Yeah.
The People's Champ went on to say that he understands money ain't falling out of the sky and it's not growing on trees. And there's a lot of people out there who's living paycheck to paycheck, and I get it. And I know what that's like. Which he does.
He does. $7 in his pocket. We've heard it
or he did.
a bajillion times.
He doesn't know what it's like.
Not anymore.
He knows
what it was like. He will never understand.
He don't know what it's like today.
Life. Yeah. He had $7 in his pocket when $7 could have fed him for a month. Today, $7 will get you half a breakfast.
And he says, the last thing you want to hear when you're living paycheck to paycheck is someone asking you for money, especially when the person asking you for money already has a lot of money, he said.
Well, here's the thing. People got all butthurt and bent out of shape over it, but it's like if they didn't say that, then the other people who have plenty of money also would not have donated, because just because he's making a broad whatever does not mean he's saying, "Hey, you over there, Social Security, paycheck to paycheck, not 2 pennies to rub together. I expect you to do something." No, he could be talking to this guy.
So he said what he said, but certain people heard it how they wanted to hear it.
Which is what happens a lot of times.
And so that's how these titles and thumbnails get misconstrued and clickbait. It's like, Jesus, like, whatever, got you. But he says, "I get it. I understand. I've never launched a fund before, but I'm a quick study and lesson learned. So next disaster to hit Hawaii, he will do better." Like I said, these are dumb stories.
I know.
These are dumb stories.
I know, poor thing.
If you're only listening, you can't see her frustration, but I assure you it's there. Jason Momoa accused of tormenting Amber Heard on Aquaman 2 set.
Okay. I'm sorry.
But my question is, why was he trying so hard to be Johnny Depp in Fast X?
Oh my God, I hated Fast X.
Why was he trying so hard to be
Captain
Johnny
Jack
Depp?
Sparrow. He was trying to be Captain Jack Sparrow, but
Fast
in a more
X.
in a gay way, literally, because he was supposed to be gay.
Was it because he was so close to Amber Heard on set?
She's not in Fast X.
She was on Aquaman too.
What? I don't get it.
Did some of that Johnny Deppness rub off on him? And
No, because she has no Johnny Deppness, and he wasn't there.
but essentially,
He and Johnny
to
are friends.
appeal. Really?
Yeah, that's how
Really?
Amber Heard got the part.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about those.
Because
two.
she can't. I mean, Max's butthole acts better than Amber Heard does. Like, did you see her
The
on stand
YouTube
with her face
videos
crying?
they have made from these courtrooms
Golly.
are hilarious.
The stung by a bee thing is one of the best ones they've ever done.
So this is completely going to just ruin my question of do you think that they'll hook up or is he really gay? But if him and Johnny Depp are friends, and probably not.
He has no love for Amber Heard at all.
Okay,
No. None.
All right.
He didn't want her in the second movie.
Do you remember what you asked me the other day
Oh, I ask you so many things.
about the weekend?
Is he now the weekday? That one? That weekend? Or you mean like the actual weekend,
Yeah.
like Saturday and Sunday? Okay, yeah.
Selena Gomez.
Selena Gomez and some other people that I can't remember now.
Well,
Oh, Gigi Hadid or Bella Hadid, one of those. Also, he dated a Hadid.
funny you asked about him, and then I come across the story because he's been busy.
Because remember when he came out with that video and he was at some awards ceremony and he had the looked like plastic surgery stuff on his face and people thought he had whatever. He kind of looked Michael Jackson-ish meets like what Madonna did to her face, how she just turned herself into this weird looking buffoon, like literally. People thought that he had lost his mind and was doing all this stuff to his face and whatever else, not realizing it was for a video. But then I haven't really seen him since.
It's funny how people come up with these thoughts and ideas, and you'll see here in just a moment. More so likely negative thoughts and ideas of the worst of what could be. But either way, it's funny how just to manipulate the psyche of the general public is actually relatively easy. And if you can then tie that into selling them something, then
It's ridiculous.
yeah. But either way, he's been busy, and The Weeknd boosts Colombian economy after his latest gig. And I read that Colombia has The Weeknd to thank for a huge boost to the country's economy. His latest not only brought in a whole bunch of money, but a ton of jobs with it. The singer performed in Bogota, the country's capital, working with 35 different companies in the country, which translated into a sky-high number of folks able to work for the big night. 1,500 jobs in all were created through the show.
Nice.
Other music and entertainment news, Drake.
Oh, I thought you were going to say about Taylor Swift, because remember when we were in Canada, they said that Taylor Swift wouldn't come there or whatever?
Yeah.
They only have a certain amount of venues. Well, the way Taylor Swift does her tours, she gets to hit numerous smaller venues, which is numerous jobs for everybody at those venues.
Oh, sweet.
Versus only going to one big one where less people get to work, less vendors get stuff, less people can go to because it's a drive, it costs too much, blah, blah, blah. That was it.
That's good. That's good. So the good news is, he's still doing stuff, just not here that we know about, and he's making jobs.
Are you about to talk about Drake and his grooming of Millie Bobby Brown since she was 14?
No.
Oh, so do you remember that?
No.
So
Drake?
Millie Bobby Brown. Oh, yeah. So Millie Bobby Brown is 11 on Stranger Things. She's Enola Holmes in the movies, and she's adorable, British little girl. And when she was 14, she was on an interview, and she was saying how Drake had just texted her how he missed her so much, and she replied back, "I miss you
How old was
more."
he?
31.
Huh.
Yeah. So pictures of them together at 14 on red carpets and stuff when she was 14 seemed gross by themselves. But then when you hear her interview talking about how at no point in time should a 31-year-old man tell a 14-year-old girl how much he misses her. Even if you're uncle and niece, I don't care. Those things should never transpire.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Okay,
That's,
keep going.
That's a
What were you
2.0.
gonna say
That's a
about Drake?
2.0 for sure. He's done with music.
Probably because he's going to jail for pedophilia. I don't know.
think he's going to jail. He
not.
said he's
I'm
done
kidding.
with music for
Yes.
at least a year and is focusing on his health and issues he's been dealing with for years. He wants to get in better shape.
I thought you were going to say mental because of his issue with liking little girls.
Is it like more than one, or is it just that one?
I don't know.
I don't know either. So that's what I'm saying.
I've heard there's other actresses who've dealt with that,
Look, I'm sure
but that one was
pretty much
mainstream.
all of Hollywood has that.
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
Like all of Like, and probably the thing is like, oh, welcome to Hollywood. Come to this party. You go to the party, and
Yeah.
Well,
that's like the whole running joke is if
and
you're.
It's like if you're in Hollywood and you go to that party, now we got you. Okay, you will always work for us.
Yeah, basically
because we got you.
Yeah.
Here.
Yes.
And we know, and we got footage. And
yes. One of those
accounts.
Kind of things.
You know, see what I'm saying? And it's like, all right, welcome to Hollywood. You're invited to the party. I don't want to go. All right, you're out of Hollywood.
Yep.
You're done.
I think that's how it works. Actually.
Maybe. Jacked up. Now his son is
Adonis,
not done
right?
with music. Yeah, Adonis. He
Isn't he
raps
like
on his
3?
new album.
Isn't he like
he's rapping on a new album.
As a 3-year-old? Oh, so he's trying to do the Haley Jane
Maybe.
Haley Jade Eminem thing?
Well, you got Jaden Smith and whoever else had their kids on there. But someone else is clearly missing from his album. But more on that in just a moment. Do you know who's missing from his album? I don't answer it. Side note, Keith Sweat says Drake deserves his R&B crown.
Keith Sweat. You gotta hold your nose when you talk about Keith Sweat.
But Keith Sweat said, hey, they hated on my vocal range too.
See, because you sound like you had a cold all the time.
Do the Keith Sweat thing you always do.
I don't know how to.
Which one? What song was it?
That's why I can't remember right now.
You mess with my brother with?
Oh yeah. Because I mean, you got to hold your nose and sing it.
I don't remember which song it was.
That's why I can't do it because I don't remember either. I know I can picture it, like I can hear kind of sort of, but I can't think of any of the words to save my life right now.
Oh,
and you had me
man.
put my phone on airplane mode so it wouldn't mess with the audio, so I can't even look it up.
So, Nicki Minaj fans have long held onto a promise from Drake that she'd be featured on his new album. But
I was going to say Nicki Minaj.
the rapper failed to deliver on that promise, and the Barbs are pissed.
Well, it's not just him. Nicki has to agree to it. And if Nicki wants nothing to do with Drake, you can't exactly force it.
But my question is, what the hell are Barbs?
Nicki's fans.
I didn't know that.
Because she was Black Barbie.
So, apparently, according to the internet, most commonly, Barbs are all of Nicki Minaj's fans. The name,
Just like the Bayhive or Beehive.
that would make sense.
is
I'm like,
Beyonce.
Barbs? Like, I didn't understand Nicki Minaj Barbs. Like, I didn't get it. The name, I still don't get it, derives from Minaj's girly alter ego, the Harajuku Barbie Presidente.
The one where she had pink hair, I think, and all that stuff.
President Dwan. Actually, I'm sorry, President Dwan. I don't even know how you say this.
I don't know either. If it makes you feel any better.
Yeah.
And the Harajuku thing, that came from Gwen Stefani when she had Harajuku Girls.
Really?
And she went solo and she had that banana song. She had a whole album with Harajuku.
What is Harajuku?
It's a Japanese thing as far as I know.
Huh. Okay. All right. I get it. It's close ties with Nicki Minaj in Japan, I guess. And Gwen Stefani.
Sure.
I guess it's like when Drake went to the UK to get a British accent to do Jamaican songs.
Yeah.
Like, it was so strange.
So weird.
Actually, I like the album, but I was like, all right.
Switching it up a little.
But either way, I was today years old when I learned that useless piece of information. But Drake's For All the Dogs packs on several big name features. 21 Savage.
I like his voice.
Speaking of Canada, getting in and out of Canada,
Yeah.
how he did that, or didn't do that.
Yeah.
Bad Bunny, who just won 7 awards, including Artist of the Year at the Billboard Latin Music Awards, putting Bad Bunny and Kendall Jenner in a celebratory mood.
Oh, yeah. She's dating Bad Bunny now. She went from basketball player to basketball player to basketball player to Bad Bunny.
Is she the most normal Jenner Kardashian?
Oh, I would say so. She's still a little effed up, but I would say
No, like normal looking. It hasn't changed.
I think she might have done her nose at some point.
But she hasn't done her face.
No, and she's like just tall, skinny. She hasn't put any butt in. She hasn't done
Because
any
Kylie
boobs.
doesn't look like she...
Not at all. That's what they say. It's not that you're ugly. It's that you don't have money. Because if you look at pictures from this girl, and some people are like, well, nobody looks the same at 30 that they did at 16. That's true. I'm pretty much damn near the same face-wise, except for, more wrinkles now and whatnots.
Laugh lines.
And yes, those.
Is that what it is?
It is. They are laugh lines. Smart move. Less stress lines, more laugh lines. But that child, Kylie Jenner, the 180-degree difference because she had the money to make it happen is ridiculous.
So, additionally, somebody there was called Sexy Red. I had no idea who Sexy Red was.
Is that going to be Ice Spice?
I don't think so. Honestly, I don't know.
Oh, they didn't say. Okay, I thought you were giving a...
Sexy Red with 2 Y's. Sexy is a person.
Never mind. Because Ice Spice used to have red hair, so I thought maybe they were trying to say that. But
No. So you had 21 Savage, Bad Bunny, Kendall Jenner with Bad Bunny, Sexy Red, who I had no idea who she was until I came across some story the other day about how she leaked her own sex tape.
Because she didn't have Kris Jenner to do it for her.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
yes. If only you'd been born into the Kardashian family,
I would say,
could have been famous for getting it on.
Do yourself a favor and don't Google that. I'll just say that. So, yeah.
Is it with another human?
Just don't do it.
Okay.
Just don't. Just save yourself the trouble.
It just showed it to you?
Well,
it's probably on YouTube.
As I was collecting the dumb stories, like that one popped up. It's like,
no, but I mean, like if you looked it up, it just shows you the video.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, now I have to because you said not to. Now I have to.
Nope. And J. Cole. Are you really taking that note?
No.
But Nicki's fans are now taking her absence as a sign of disrespect.
With Drake or in general because she is married and has a kid. Although her husband
from the album, the absence from the album as a sign of disrespect. Yeah.
Okay. Well, she's married and she has to work really hard at keeping her husband out of jail for his thing with children also.
But they're saying that it's especially after she publicly pushed for the album to drop. Mm-hmm. And they say that there's still a chance the collab could appear on Nicki's Pink Friday 2 album when it drops in November, but the Barbs would hear none of it and called for their queen to cut all ties from Drizzy. Now,
for Shizzy,
I got to say that it is truly amazing how people with literally nothing invested, no skin in the game, get so latched on to drama that may or may not even be remotely close to what it seems. Mm-hmm. Talk about free publicity and gaining attention and drawing in anticipation for a big release and viral moment.
I've said it numerous times before. Yeah. Yeah.
You're not going to go, but somebody's going to go to McDonald's. They're going to go to KFC. They're going to go to the airport and they're going to try to carry on about their day while the lovely staff is distracted because they're in the back arguing about the Nicki Minaj and Drake drama that was actually coordinated between the two to boost sales.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you're going to go to McDonald's and buy the 10-piece chicken nugget.
So you're not going to. You're like, hold
there's
up.
always there's now some female rapper associated with Happy Meals. It's really weird.
They're going to say, hold up. We're over here talking about, and this is what consumes their lives.
Mm-hmm. Well, when everything turns into reality TV, what else do you have to talk about? What else is on TV these days besides reality shows? And what else? Even on YouTube, you either have like all the couples and stuff and all this fake entertainment there. Like it's a thing.
I don't feel good about knowing this information, but I came across it.
Okay.
And when I see things, I remember them for some reason. And it was like, Kim Zolciak is now going to be in this new show called The Surreal Life.
Why? I'm sorry. I didn't mean it the way it sounded, but I meant it the way it sounded. Why?
It's like, wait.
Wasn't she... Never mind.
And she's still living with the ex as they're going through a divorce. And the house is about to be foreclosed on. Like, it's a wild situation.
Now, I can't say much because I don't know if she was anything before she married for money or not.
But the point I'm trying to make is that they're calling it The Surreal Life. Like, you said reality TV, and it's like, oh man, like where are we? But now it's a surreal life. Like, the
only reality TV I think there was in the very, very, very beginning, maybe possibly the first half of a season of Survivor, maybe the first possible half a season of The Real World on MTV, and then everything went to, this needs to be scripted because not enough is happening. There's no drama. There's no anger. There's no crying. There's no screaming. So we need to script this stuff now. Have you ever made it through? I've never made it through a whole one anyway, but a single episode of a Kardashian, anything where somebody has not cried or screamed, thrown something, hit somebody, not known how to cut a freaking cucumber, something.
Oh my God, is that a chicken?
Yes, all of that. Somebody didn't get dumped. Somebody's baby daddy didn't cheat on them and whatever. Like...
Fuck.
Breathe.
There's our one.
Our one.
Anyway, switching gears, a completely separate topic. You have
so
no
we're
idea.
making that like we did in the twin engine where you're just going these 60-degree angles. Do 5 of them.
Hard break. Okay. Veering off course here.
The good news is I've held so long that I don't have to pee anymore. So there's that.
You've absorbed it
but
in your body.
Got to pay attention to the time.
Note the time.
Note the time.
Where to stay near Glacier National Park.
Glacier National Park. Well, Kalispell was nice.
So
you had everything there.
That's the interesting thing, because I came across, again, these are things that are shown. It's actually kind of cool. The things that are shown to me.
Where is it shown? Where did you see it?
So like I just open up my phone, I go to Google, I hit new tab, and every day it gives me new news stories.
That's true. So is it Yahoo?
No, this was actually somebody's blog.
Okay.
It's a nice little blog for anybody out there thinking about a side hustle opportunity. This nice little blog that could make good side hustle passive income revenue from the ad placement that I actually looked at. But the interesting thing is that there was no mention on this list of, I don't think there was any mention on this list of where we stayed.
Really? I love that place.
So, but I want to know if you saw any of these as options when choosing.
I swear this thing has moved.
Where we stayed. Maybe.
Because I wasn't like this the whole time.
Oh, I mean, you can adjust it. There you go.
That's fine. I'm good there.
You can rotate it if you want. But either way, so I don't think where we stayed, but we didn't stay like in Glacier.
No, because when you remember when you came right out of Glacier into like civilization and cell phone ability, there were a lot of little places, but they look like Motel 6, but like with cabins. Do you know what I mean? Because they were supposed to be rugged and camping and things like that. We didn't stay in one of those. We stayed in a hotel.
Like a lodge.
A lodge.
I'm glad we did, because we had better internet.
Yes.
The closer you got to Glacier, the worse.
Really good breakfast.
But one of them was a priest whitefish. Looks pretty cool, but
what?
A priest?
Oh, I thought you said a priest's whitefish. And I'm like, well, whitefish is a thing that a lot of Jewish people eat, like whitefish salad. It's a thing. And then a priest doesn't go with that. I was very confused for like half a second. My brain could not put the two things together.
Under Canvas Glacier, which looks to be just a straight up fabric tent with some sort of vintage wood burning stove.
So they had one place that had a ton of teepees. Did you see that?
This might be it.
That might be it.
It
then.
looks kind of like it.
Okay.
West Glacier Cabin Village, which
saw that one.
That one reminds me of the little cottages at KOA.
So we saw that one.
Which I'm glad we didn't do that
Yes.
for however many nights we ended up staying.
We were there for like a week almost.
The Village Inn. This one actually kind of looks decent. The Village Inn to me looks like a Motel 6 on the water.
Yeah.
Like literally walk out of your door to your room onto the
3 times the cost of where we stayed.
Oh, you saw that one?
Yep.
The Village Inn?
Because you're on the water.
That joker's pretty nice.
I know.
You wake up to mountain views.
If it had been one night while we waited on tires, that would have been one thing. But we were there for 5 nights.
Okay.
It was not.
That joker
it was
looked
not
pretty
feasible.
nice.
So we're going back.
Maybe.
We're not going to Cowgirl Coffee though. Oh no, we can. I drink Lotus energy drinks now. We can totally go to Cowgirl Coffee.
I think we could, but it would definitely be a different season. Like
I want to go winter.
Yeah.
I want to see the
winter.
snow and
I
stuff.
don't know if I go winter. I don't want to get stuck. So I like early winter.
You know what never gets stuck in the snow? Horses. We just take a horse. I'm just saying. They might get stuck in snow. I don't know. I've never ridden a horse in snow.
Lake McDonald Lodge.
I don't recognize that one.
Mini Glacier Hotel.
Yes, I recognize the name.
That one looks kind of baller.
Yeah, that one was very, very baller.
That was on the water too.
That one was so baller that it was not happening.
Yeah, that's probably like $1,000 a night.
It was over that. Yeah.
Summit Mountain Lodge.
Think Mini Glacier in conjunction to Grand Teton Village.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
It was like that.
It looks like that, but a little smaller, not as huge as Grand Teton Village.
Would you stay in Grand Teton Village again?
Yeah, for sure, because we want to climb the mountain anyway.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Summit Mountain Lodge looks exactly like a KOA cottage with the way that it's Lincoln log built.
I love those kind of things, though, the Lincoln log look.
And then a bonus is Granite Park Chalet at Sperry Chalet. And it's
that one's at the bottom of the mountain, right?
It's like in it. It looks like it's like stone built. Like this joker is like vintage.
Yeah.
But we were in We
were right outside of Kalispell.
Yeah. So these are like in.
Yeah. We were about 20 minutes out of all of those.
Glacier. These are right there. Glacier or whatever town was right there.
Well, because West Glacier, at that West Glacier, East Glacier entrance, is where they had that little area, and I don't remember what that little part was called. I think it's just called East Glacier or West Glacier.
But without the reception,
it's impossible.
Without the reception, it's not that we couldn't do it, but it's like, as far as getting our content uploaded.
Yeah.
That's kind of a bummer.
Well, as a work from home mobile worker, you need those kind of things, unless, of course, we had Starlink or we had
That's what I was
something
gonna say.
like
Maybe
that.
Starlink. I don't know.
I might look into it for the van.
Yeah, well, yeah, Starlink. Actually, watching Kara and Nate and doing their travels recently and seeing people with Starlink might be something to consider.
And that VPN thing they're always talking about?
Yeah, probably do that
Something
too.
Shark?
Yeah, Surfshark.
Yeah. So I can watch The Office since they took it off Netflix.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
Well, did they take it off in all countries?
So that's,
Just
that's
here?
why they did it, because
They
it's still
did it
on in like the
purpose?
UK.
Okay.
Yeah. It gets a rotation, I think.
But I do also want to make a note and highlight and point out some of our biggest supporters on Patreon. We got Jay Deere, we got Kim Lindsay, Cindy, Dion, Sherry Bella Rickett, TJ Collis, Genevieve Gold, Levita Walker, SS, Austin Braddock, Derry Harris, Lawrence Webb, Forlorn, Vox, Ivy Weekly, and Paula Williams.
Where's Tavia?
Thank you.
Tavia.
I have to look and see.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Well, because Tavia and Allie both.
Oh, this is ranked. This is ranked. So
okay.
these are some
Longer,
yeah.
more interactive.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
I got
no,
it.
it's just like longevity.
Oh, longevity,
Like
okay.
longevity and support
Okay.
over the time. And it'll change over time. But it was just based on like some of these folks have been around for a while.
We appreciate that.
But everybody, we appreciate
Yes, everybody.
But this is just what Patreon highlighted to me as
Nice.
And it's not the only supporters. It's just like
Yes,
this
the
is
highlighted.
this is what they showed to me.
Okay, that makes sense.
Thanks guys for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll do it again sometime.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Because I got a party.